Children, hope you all are fine and taking care of yourselves. So welcome back to your computer online classes of class 2. So I hope you all have enjoyed your vacations, right? And you all are taking care of yourselves as well. Okay, so student, now today in this video I'm going to start with lesson number 3 because in the previous video we have already completed lesson number 1 and 2 which we are going to cover in your first unit test. Okay, and if there is any doubt or confusion in lesson number 1 and 2, you can ask with your teacher in your live online classes, as in videos we have given the revisions. Okay, so now I'm going to start with lesson number 3. All of you please open page number 26. Here it is. So, lesson number 3, and the name of the lesson is Learn to Use the Computer. So, student, in this chapter, what we are going to learn? We are going to learn how to use the computer. Means, what we are going to cover in this chapter? Starting the computer means I will taught you the steps how to start the computer, and then identifying the desktop and its components. And number 3, shutting down the computer. Okay, the two topic which I am going to cover today is starting the computer and identifying the desktop and its components. Okay, student. So, starting from here, as you now know about computer and its uses, let us learn how to use it. So student, in previous videos in lesson number 1 and 2, I already told you about a computer. That what is a computer? A computer is an electronic machine. And what are the uses of computer? There are a lot of uses in the computer. We can use the computer in schools, offices, hospitals, banks, railways, station, airports, etc. And there are a lot of uses of computers as well, right? Teachers uses computer to prepare report cards. In banks, computer is being used for receiving and paying cash and checks, etc. So there are a lot of uses of computer. So all of you are very well known about the uses and about the computer. So we can work on the computer only when it is switched on. So as you all know student, if we are going to work on a computer, first of all we need to switch on the computer. Without opening the computer, we cannot work on that. So it is very important to learn how to start a computer and how to shut it down. Means we must know the proper steps of opening the computer as well as to shutting down the computer. Shutting down also means turning off the computer. If wrongly starting and shutting down a computer can cause harm to it. So if we are wrongly starting our computer or if we are shutting down it wrongly, then the computer system will be harmed. Right, students? So we all need to know the steps to open it as well as to close it properly. So let us learn how to switch on and off a computer. First of all, to start a computer. So first of all, I'm going to tell you the steps how to start a computer. So what you all have to do, student, you all have to observe the picture carefully and follow the steps to start the computer. Right, I told you so many times, student, that your book of computer is very good. What you all need to know and do is that you all have to observe the pictures which are given in your book and what the steps your ma'am is teaching you. So now also what you all have to do with me, you all have to just notice the pictures which is given in your book and just listen to me carefully the steps which I am taughting you now. So first of all, I'll teach you about the steps how to start a computer. So step number 1, switch on the main power supply button. So as you can see in the picture, this boy standing here and this is the main power supply button. First of all, you all have to switch on this button. Now student, here is one computer manner as well. Never switch off the main power supply button directly without shutting down the computer. It can harm your system. So आप लोग को क्या करना है, कभी भी कंप्यूटर को अपने डायरेक्टली बंद नहीं करना है. अगर आप उसको डायरेक्टली बंद करोगे तो आपके कंप्यूटर सिस्टम पे हार्म भी हो सकता है. राइट स्टूडेंट, आपको स्टेप फॉलो करने हैं उसको ऑफ करने के लिए. ओके, द स्टेप्स आई विल टीच यू. So now back, step number 1, again I'm telling you what you have to do. You have to switch on the main power supply button here as you can see in the picture. Now next page. Step 2, what you have to do, switch on the power button on the UPS. Here is UPS. The boy is switching on the power button on the UPS. So I hope all of you knows the full form of UPS. What is the full form of UPS? Uninterrupted power supply. U stands for uninterrupted, P stands for power, and S stands for supply. So what is the use of UPS? The work of UPS is just similar as inverter. All of you are having inverters at your homes nowadays. तो उसका क्या काम होता है कि जब आपकी लाइट भाग जाती है तो इन्वर्टर से आपकी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी चलती रहती है. इन द सेम वे कंप्यूटर से ये यूपीएस कनेक्टेड होता है और अगर लाइट भाग भी जाए तो यूपीएस की हेल्प से आपका कंप्यूटर चलता रहता है. ओके, सो स्टेप 2 व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, you have to switch on the power button on UPS. Now step 3, switch on the power button on CPU. CPU is also there, which is connected to the computer and it is the part of computer. So what you need to do is you need to open the power button of CPU also. The full form of CPU is C stands for central, P stands for processing, and U stands for unit. And it is known as the brain of the computer, and all the processing is done in CPU. So the full form of CPU is central processing unit. So what you have to do, you have to switch on the power button on the CPU, as you can see in the picture also. Now step 4, what you have to do, student, you have to switch on the power button on the monitor and wait for the computer to start. Here, as you can see, this boy is just switching on the power button, which is on monitor, and you just need to wait for 1 or 2 seconds, right? Now step 5, as soon as the monitor screen appears, it indicates the computer is ready to use. So when you will switch on this power button after 1 or 2 seconds, this monitor screen will appear. Now you all are ready to just use the computer. Okay, so there are 5 steps of starting the computer. Again, I'm revising what you have to do first. You have to switch on the main power supply button. Then step 2, you have to switch on the power button on UPS. Then step 3, you have to switch on the power button on CPU. Then step 4, you have to switch on the power button on the monitor and wait for the computer to start. The last step what you have to do, as soon as the monitor screen appears, the computer is ready to use. Right. Now, next page. Now we'll discuss about desktop. So what is a desktop, student? Desktop is the screen that appears on starting the computer. Okay, the screen which appears on starting of a computer, that is known as desktop. Now I'm going to tell you about the components of desktop as well. First of all, this is the screen which appears on starting of a computer, and this is desktop, right? Now the component number 1, the small pictures with titles on the desktop are called icons. Here, this is a small picture with title on it. This is called icons. An icon is used to open a program file or folder, or it is used to represent a program file or folder, like my pictures, recycle bin, my computer. Okay, now next component. The thin bar at the bottom of the desktop is called taskbar. Now here, as you can see, this is the thin bar, okay, at the bottom of the desktop, and it is called the taskbar. Right. Now the last component, the button position on the left corner of the taskbar is start button. Here it is start button. So here we have discussed only 3 components of the desktop. Number 1, icon. Number 2, taskbar, and number 3, start button. All of you, I hope you all have understood about these components, right? Start button is used to start your computer. Okay, students. So I hope you all have understood this. So today I'm going to discuss till this page only. In the next video, I'll tell you how to shut down a computer. But before that, I'll give you a small homework. So this is your homework, which is on page number 32. And this is activity time number 2. So in this homework, what you have to do, student, you have to label the picture. I have already labeled the picture. Just now I have taught you these components. Okay, so what is this? This is the desktop, the screen of the computer. This is taskbar. This is start button, and these are icons. You all have to note down these in your book, as well as you have to draw this picture in your fair notebook. You have to draw and label in your notebook also. You have to draw and label in your fair notebook. Okay, student, I hope the chapter is very much clear to you. And one more time you all have to go through the video. Okay, now in the next video we'll meet again. Till then, all of you stay home and stay safe and take care.